Welcome to Travel, Eat, and Learn. I'm Sam Shockley.
And I'm Patrick Barney. And our title says it all. Remember, the world is a book, and those who do not travel only read one page.
We believe that if you eat with the locals, you will learn more about where you are.
And since you jumped right over to that ending in my line, I'm going to say you're going to learn while you're eating with the locals. So let's say we don't know our logo all that much, do we? All right. And?
What?
See the big S there? See the big S there?
Thanks for watching Travel, Eat, and Learn. This episode is being brought to you by For More Travel.
And they're really sorry about it.
No.
It's where you dream it and they make it happen. And unfortunately, we are the they. All right, Sam, tonight we thought we would do a show about the 4th of July and some fun places to go because it's summertime. And so I'm going to start off with the travel news you can use. Now, it's only a few days to 4th of July. It comes right after the 3rd. And so I wanted to talk about a couple, something like 5, 6, you know, all people have like the 10 best. Okay, I got 9. I just ran out, okay? Now, to me, the best 4th of July fireworks are in cities that are next to rivers, because there is nothing better than to seeing the fireworks in the sky and reflecting off the river or the ocean or wherever it might be. So that's what I picked, places to go to. And the first one I picked is San Diego. Why San Diego? Is because they have the bay, they have the river, they have the ocean, and you can see the fireworks from 5 different places. And I don't know, we don't know, not the background, but the bottom ground is water. And what better way to see fireworks? So San Diego is probably my #1 choice in go to see fireworks. And of course, all these places, including your own city, have parades and their version of fireworks, okay? The second one, of course, is New Orleans. They, of course, have the Mississippi River. Now, unfortunately, it's hard to tell in New Orleans because they celebrate any day anyhow. So, you know, you got to kind of look for the signs that say it's the 4th of July. By the way, we have another party tonight, okay? But New Orleans, of course, is great for any kind of party weekend. And, of course, they have parades. They have great food and anything you could want. So New Orleans is definitely #2. #3, Sam, is a place you never talk about, and I love from my days when I used to go there, and that is Memphis. Because again, Memphis, look at these people looking at their water right at downtown Memphis. Great fireworks, but you also have great barbecue, and you have the blues. What more could you want? Right?
I can't remember ever being in Memphis.
You were never there. I was there. Okay. It was before I met you. Okay. But Memphis is a lot of fun to go to.
Now, the next one you picked I thought was curious because Chicago, which is where I'm from, and I lived there but from 0 to 27. I never spent 4th of July in Chicago because we had a house on the lake in Michigan. And you're talking about fireworks by the water.
Right.
Even though we lived on the lake, the fireworks were inland by a railroad track.
Yes, well, that's true. That's why we're telling people to go to Chicago, not North Michigan. Okay? All right? But, you know, Chicago, like any other big city, has got great parades.
Yes.
They have great food. And, of course, they have great
fireworks and humidity.
Even though you haven't seen it.
No.
Okay. But the next one, of course, on the river, on the ocean, Miami, South Beach. Okay, a lot of drinks. One of the nice things about Miami and South Beach and all is that the young 20-year-olds play really well with the old 70-year-olds. The generations get along really well, especially in South Beach and so forth. So nobody's going to knock over your walker. You know, it's a fun time. And, of course, Miami has fireworks overlooking the river sometimes, overlooking the Back Bay. Miami is another great place to go. And I would be neglectful if I didn't say New York. New York is one of these. New York is one of these unique. Look at, you can see that picture, the East River. Now they chose the East River to do the fireworks because it's already polluted. So, as opposed to the Hudson River. Plus, it can be seen then from Manhattan, from Brooklyn, from Queens, from all the boroughs, okay? So New York, and also New York not only has parades and they have fireworks, but on 4th of July, you can see a night baseball game. So they have a lot going for them in New York. And
now, the next one, I've got a lot to say, so introduce it and say what you were going to say.
The next one is Washington, D.C. And I was going to say, Sam, what are your favorite stories from Washington, D.C.?
Well, that very view, we were on the Virginia side waiting since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We had a picnic, and we waited and waited and waited. And the first one that shot up made a cloud, and we never saw another firework in the sky.
One of the bad things about Washington was humidity. And that particular day, it was very humid. So the smoke from the first couple ones just hung in the air. It had nowhere to go. And so we could have been 20 miles away for what we could see because all you saw was the clouds getting brighter over here and brighter over there.
Now, another time we were in front of the Capitol, and we were again there from like noon, so we got our blanket out.
You had to be there to get a spot, yeah.
People came and sat all over our blanket. We could not even put our legs out because we had such a little spot. That was terrible. That was terrible.
However, the best one we had, I talk about water, okay, and 4th of July. Of course, you got the Potomac River there. The last time we were there for 4th of July, they had an old-fashioned riverboat, I don't know, called the Bell somebody, I don't know. But we went out there for the fireworks. It was just, you had the bar inside with music blaring, and then you could go out on the ship and you could enjoy the fireworks right in the middle of the river. Now, I'm glad we were on that ship because there were a lot of what I would call Sunday sailors out that night in their little rowboats and their little motorboats, and they had been drinking, okay? And as they were bouncing off the side of our bigger ship, I was so happy I wasn't out there in a small ship. But that was a delight. That was probably the best fireworks we got to see there in Washington, D.C. And again, water was the best thing.
And there was a toilet. That's always very important.
That's right. The boat had a toilet. What more could you want? All right. The next one, of course, is Denver. And Denver is the family place for the 4th of July. Beautiful scenery. People can see the Rocky Mountains. They can hike. They can, and of course, the weather in Denver at that time, 4th of July, is one of the few places in the United States that's not terribly humid. Now, of course, Denver doesn't have water, but it does have pot now. Oh. So one way or another, you're going to have a good 4th of July, okay? Bring your friends and relatives. Look at the scenery and create your own fireworks. Okay. Sam, the last place is our new home.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
We do not have water, but we do have pools. And this is where the real fireworks starts. We have every place on the strip has a pool party all day long. And then in the evening, when the sun goes down, which is like around 9 o'clock here, they try to outdo each other. This casino does this fireworks, this casino does that fireworks. I'm telling you, there are so many fireworks going on here in Las Vegas, you think you're in Chicago at night. Okay.
Now, our next show is going to be all about Las Vegas. So tell your friends, if they are interested in Las Vegas, we're going to tell them all about what a 60-year-old has fun doing in Las Vegas.
And I was going to finish up my fireworks display with Disney, because Disney, of course, has fireworks every night, and from all their different villages and islands or whatever it is, you know, you can see sophisticated fireworks at Epcot, and you can see funny fireworks at the Fantasy Island and so forth. However, in trying to get a picture of Disney fireworks live, they run for about 40 minutes. I mean, it's a lot of fireworks. But we do have a travel partners spotlight for Disney for the little kids. Everybody loves Disney.
Is this throne taken?
At Disney Water Parks, there's something for every character in your family.
Awesome!
Okay, everyone, people swim.
Take a water break at Disney Water Parks.
Just keep swimming. Just keep... Oh.
Disney is great for family fun. There is no doubt about it. So, Sam, now we're going to give you a chance to go. Let's go to great go-to destinations.
We are going to Branson, Missouri, which is one of my very favorite places on earth. We own 6 acres of it. I worked for the largest hotel corporation in the world, and 6 million visitors go to Branson. It is a marvelous place, and one of the reasons is they are the most patriotic place on earth. They cater in every show that they have to the military, veterans. They have parades. They have special days set aside. They have reunions. They have a museum. Now, I have to talk about this museum. It's the most favorite museum. You go in and you see a window and you see 50 life-size figures in bronze of soldiers, one from each state. And from Kansas is Bob Dole.
Yeah, they took the faces from actual soldiers from World War II, and they're supposedly storming the beaches in Normandy, but there are faces of real people who actually did it.
Right. Well, the thing about it is that they've got all types of artifacts all around in this museum, but in this center section where you actually go into the room, it is the only place on earth where all 400,000 names.
No, 400,000.
400,000 names of the soldiers who died in World War II are. They are on white paper, and they have ladders so that if you've lost someone in the war, you can go and find their name. Now, in Washington, D.C., at the World War II monument, they have a star for like every
10,000, yeah.
100 people that passed away. I don't think that, I don't like that memorial. I like this memorial.
Well, what I thought was interesting is you go into the room and you wonder why there is an 8-foot ceiling and the wallpaper is black and white. You know, the first thing is, well, that's kind of weird. Why that? Then you realize that black and white are names, and what they simply did was they bought a computer run from the Pentagon, and that had a list alphabetically of everybody killed in World War II. And then they turned it into wallpaper, 8-foot high wallpaper. And so I was able to go in there, get on a ladder, find my 2 uncles who died in the war, find my father's best friend. I mean, it was just an amazing event.
It was very emotional.
Very emotional.
Anyway, however, if you are a grandparent and you want your children and their children to go on a vacation, this is the place to go. There is something for everybody. There is entertainment constantly. And one of the things that they have there is the Titanic Museum. And the Titanic Museum there is better than the one here in Las Vegas. It really has a cozy feeling as you go in. You get an identity. And then you go through the whole museum, and they tell you things like the staircase that you saw in the movie. That was made out of marble originally. However, this newfangled thing called linoleum came out. So they took all the marble up and put linoleum down. Well, then they had to put brass strips on it because the linoleum started curling.
Yes, and then as a result of that, there are a lot of marble steps in Belfast Island.
I guess.
Because they had to get rid of them.
Well, this is a wonderful thing. The landing downtown. The landing is that's where they have fireworks and all types of beautiful displays.
And shopping.
And shopping and restaurants and cozy things. We met Johnny Cash's daughter and ex-wife that had a store there at one time.
They had the store together?
Yes.
The daughter, I guess it was her mother. Yeah, okay. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Thought it was kind of a weird relationship there for a minute.
All right. there's just so many entertainers. They have a 10 o'clock show, a noon show, a 3 o'clock show, an evening show. We took our kids there, and we had one goth kid. And I mean, the lips are black and the black, all this stuff. And we took her to now this was years ago, so he's not there anymore, but Bobby Vinton. Bobby Vinton.
Okay.
Blue Velvet. Anyway.
Yeah. He sang better than that, though.
Yes, I guess he did. Nonetheless, we took her there, and she said, "Who the heck is Bobby Vinton?" Well, he came down the aisle and held her hand and sang to her. She was in seventh heaven. Each of the kids had totally different personalities. They all had something. You went up in a helicopter with your son. There was the wax museum. There was, believe it or not, there was 3-story. What do you call those cars that go around? Little
motor cars.
Little motor cars. 3-story motor cars.
And you go like this when you drive around them.
And the theaters there. There was a picture just a minute ago. That was the Bell. That was the paddle boat on the lake. Now, mind you, there is a lake and there is a river that converge there, and it is the best tournament bass fishing in the world. It is such a marvelous place.
And that's where we rented a houseboat and had so much fun with the kids for the day.
Yeah, we did.
Out on the houseboat.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, you used to have to go into Springfield and drive a car, rent a car, or take a bus. But nowadays, they have their own airport. And so it's easy to get to. Southwest flies there. And I just recommend it. I mean, the Lennon sisters are there. They have guest stars like Neil Sedaka, Winona, Paul Anka, the Oak Ridge Boys, the Johnny Mathis. So many stars come there. They've got the Dixie Stampede. There is just so much to do in Branson that appeals to so many different generations.
And I think it's really important. It is family oriented. And the prices are family-oriented. I mean, you can see the best show in town for about $28, okay? And it's usually a 2-hour show.
And the best show in town is Shoji Tabuchi. You can barely get a ticket to see Shoji Tabuchi.
An interested, classically trained violinist who spent 3 years learning how to play in Arkansas. This guy is fantastic.
And I tell you, talk about the patriotism that you find there. It's infectious, and it's a wonderful lesson to teach your kids.
It is Middle America at its best.
It is.
And the Ozarks are a beautiful area. Now they're closed in January, February, March because the weather is bad winter. But I'm telling you, their Christmas show, their 4th of July show, it's a great weekend for a good family thing.
Do the Osmonds at the Moon River Theater that used to be Andy Williams. That's a beautiful theater. We've been in it, and we have actually been in Andy Williams' office and met Andy Williams, and he was about that tall, and he was just like a big bag of bones.
Well, he is now. But the fact it's a beautiful place, and it's one of the things people say, where the hell is Branson, Missouri, and why would you go there? Okay, but it's one of those things. Now, one of the things they have there that we here in Vegas see a lot of, we have legend shows here. Okay, you can't turn the corner here without Elvis popping in front of you. You know, we got the Rat Pack in 3 different versions. We have a lot of those stars type of legends. They like to call them legend shows. Well, so does Branson, and our second travel partner spotlight is going to deal with that. So let's look at that right now.
Live at Dick Clark's American Bandstand Theater. Legends in concert. Internationally recognized as the world's greatest live tribute show. See this fast-paced theatrical production, including the Legends in Concert Band and fabulous singers and dancers. Using authentic costumes and their own natural voices, the Legends in Concert cast captures the very essence of the stars they recreate with such emotion and attention to detail you have to see it to believe it. With a rotating lineup, there's something for everyone. Rock, country, pop, R&B, yesterday's stars, today's stars, your favorite stars. Live at Dick Clark's American Bandstand Theater, Legends in Concert.
You know, a lot of people think since Branson is in the Ozarks, and it did start in the 50s, it was a place for fugitives from Nashville came over there, and there was a lot of country western humor and a lot of things like Gillies Bar and stuff like that. And as a result, a lot of the sophisticated people from the two coasts kind of don't go there, okay? But in the late 60s, people like Andy Williams, Orlando, and so forth started building their own theaters and going there. And so you have now that more...
Lawrence Welk and Wayne Newton also went there.
Let's go a little bit earlier. They're actually got stars now that were alive in the 70s and the 80s.
The Osmonds went there.
Okay, but I mean, it is a great family place, and that's the key there. Family entertainment, whether you go by bus, by plane, or drive. It's a wonderful area, and we highly recommend Branson.
Shepherd of the Hills was originally there, and so it has basic Midwest ideals, and if that's what you'd like to instill in your children and your grandchildren, it's a good place to go. People like Roy Rogers had a museum there, and I mean, it has a real good feeling. There's a lot of family shows where we saw one that had like 27 children, and these people are so talented from the generation to generation.
Well, we also have to mention, if you ever think of doing this to the California people, there is no tofo, no tufo. There's none of that. There is whatever, I don't even know how to pronounce.
The Golden Corral is the best restaurant in town.
There is nothing but fried catfish, good home Southern cooking, anything that your doctor's telling you not to eat, that's what you're doing there, okay? All right, and of course they have some decent steak and things like that, but just remember that this is not for the health nuts, okay? These are the people who want to live like the Americans used to do and then go home and work it off, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
In the fields.
In the fields, in the fields. Well, Sam, this is kind of a short show. You're saying next week we're going to talk about Vegas, everything about Vegas. And what we're going to do next week is look at our own hometown. And we just are finishing up this week is Restaurant Week, 10 days of it, 14 restaurants. Oh. So next show we'll be talking about that. We're going to try and burp a little in between so that we don't look so bad. And then we're also going to talk about the celebrations around here for Dean Martin's 100th anniversary, or birth, I should say, his birthday, not his anniversary, and the 2 or 3 shows that were connected with that. So we're gonna kind of focus on that for the middle of the summer and say that it's hot, it's here, but everything is air conditioned. So. And
we're going to talk about various entertainers around town and where you can see them and how you can save money by renting a car and getting off the strip. We watch people walk up and down the strip, and they are walking and walking and walking. Just to walk through one of the resorts here is amazing. I mean, you have to wear your comfy shoes if you want to come here. And so there are places where you can park in front of the place, go inside and have a fabulous meal with a chef that used to work on the strip. In fact, we're finding out at Restaurant Week that some of the best restaurants are off the strip.
Now, I know you've heard about us having 110, 112, 114 in the summer, and we do, but it is a dry heat. And, okay? and the fact of the matter, it's 10 degrees cooler than Phoenix, all right?
And not only that, all the air conditioning here, you have to wear a jacket anywhere you go because the air conditioning will
we don't want to give them too much because, then we got to come up with another show if you're going to tell them anything about it. Anyway, our little desert oasis that doesn't have much water, but it is filled with great food and great talent and a lot of fun. So until next week, which will be our next show will be on July the 12th, by the way. And I think that's it for today, Sam. We have another dinner reservation we got to go to.
If there is anything you saw on this show, if you want to go someplace for the 4th of July or you want to go to Branson, just give us a call at For More Travel. Thank you for watching our show. I'm Sam Shockley.
And I'm Patrick Barney. And have a great 4th of July.